Instagram, belly dance. And hi Facebook, welcome to you guys too. We're attempting to do both, which is super cool. We've been doing it for a couple of weeks now and just having a great time. So I'm live right now on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm really happy that you're here. So you can join us for our lovely dance class. So it is, what is it? It's Wednesday. And we're just getting started on our new year, giving some fun energy to our new year. It's going to be way better than the last one. I know it is. It has to be. So we're going to dance tonight and get a little therapy and feel better, and very, very quickly. As soon as you start moving, your body just feels fantastic. So go ahead and check in. If you're here, check in and say hi. Tell me who's here. If we sound, well, I'm not a we yet, I'm an I. I'm about to become a we. My other portion of we is here. And tell me if we sound good. Hi. If we look okay and if we sound okay. If our technology is up and running, we've got our little setup. I think, is the video still, is that one up there? It's from when we showed all the equipment and stuff, that silly one.
Yeah, it's still there. On your Facebook,
yeah.
On your Facebook
yeah,
timeline.
So
yeah.
If you want to see like a few minutes of our stupidness.
The craziness that happens
on the other side.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's by normal standards, it's pretty simple, but for me, it's challenging. It's pretty simple for Nikki, but
well, it's quite a
big world for me.
Stuff. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 devices, tripod, lights, cables.
Yeah. I think we're on it.
Pretty impressive.
I think we're on it.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to be exploring figure eights, some new, some reviews of, it's always, figure eights are one of the basic moves of the whole belly dance, all of it. So we're going to be doing some different body parts and moving them forward, backward, upward, downward in a figure eight pattern, then maybe putting a couple together for a combination. So
yeah,
I think it'll be a really good class.
And some unusual things that
haven't
done before.
I'm going to check out what I've done before.
Comments. You can talk about the music.
Okay.
And see if everybody can, if everybody is seeing us okay.
All right. We're going back to Beats Antique. So it's got beautiful, smooth, lovely music for figure eight. So I'm going to turn that on. And we are going to get started just moving a bit, just kind of moving our whole body because it's a little chilly. What temperature? Oh, it's not too bad. I'm being wimpy. It's 71 in here.
I think that's lying.
But I think it's a bit of a hoax myself.
Because that does not feel like 71.
But we'll feel good in a minute. We'll get warmed up. All right. So any questions, comments?
No questions, but you can say hi to Susan.
Oh, good. Susan.
Sarah. Michelle. Michelle says, hi ladies, nice to see you.
Yay.
Abby says, hi lovely ladies, you look and sound fabulous.
Okay, good. Thank you, Abby. All right, we are ready to rock. Here we go. All right, let's move our bodies up and over the head. Oh, yes. And open up that nice side body. Get your waist moving, stretching. Oh. And over. We'll be using our torso, our stomach muscles, our obliques. We'll be using our shoulder muscles, our chest muscles. A couple more. There we go. And now take the shoulders back. Go ahead and include your arms. Nice big rolls. And open it up. Make it big. Reverse it. And then make it smaller. Bring it into the elbows and shoulders. Roll forward, alternating, and back. Now, 2 forward, 2 back. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, darn good. All right, long reach to the side.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, not as long as I would like it to
Right?
be.
Long and stuck.
And move it down into your hips. Big giant circle either way. We'll go both directions. Make it a nice big giant hip circle. And reverse it. Around we go. Good. Now side to side. Push, 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 push. Good. Your tailbone under, stomach tucked in, and we're just sliding right and left. Another big circle. And switch it up. We're just doing a quickie little warm up just to get things kind of moving. And we're going to start the figure eights with our hips. So, take this off for a moment. Oh, that's such a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
I love Beats Antique. If you want some really great music, they are so, so, so good. All right. We were just saying, both of us have choreographed something. This was a song I did. Nikki did the one before we were warming up, or before you got here, and then there's another.
Yeah,
I've got another
one a little
Yeah,
further
yeah.
down the line, yeah.
We're just gonna do the whole album.
Just go through the entire
Yeah.
album, yeah. Why not?
It's just all good. Why not?
I'm just
Okay.
gonna check on Instagram because I haven't actually
Okay.
checked in a bit.
All right.
And hopefully I
You
can
see what's going on?
see. Oh,
Any questions, issues, or anything happening?
no questions, issues
Okay.
over there, but
Okay,
say hi
good.
to you guys joined us.
All right. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's look at a hip figure eight. There's actually 4 of these puppies, right? There's 4 directions. You can go horizontally, parallel to the floor. You can go vertically, which is parallel to a wall. Your hips do all kinds of really cool things. So depending on what level you are, if you're a little more intermediate, this will be a lovely review. If you're just getting started, it's just gonna blow your mind. It's like, wow, my hips can do all those things. They're so good.
Yeah, blow your mind in a very good way.
A very good way. All right, so picture a figure eight on the floor. All right, you can see the way I'm drawing it, from back to front. From back to front. From back to front. So you start your hip, take my right hip, take it back over your heel, circle it around till it gets in front of your toes. And then look what happens. The next hip, the left one, is already aiming where it needs to be. That one goes back and comes around to the toes. So it's from back to front, back to front. Now the trick is it's only the hip. So watch. See, I'm la la la, right?
No,
My whole self is doing the 8. That is not what we want.
That's like a sway.
I know, it's like la 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 la. So each part of the body gets its little turn, and now it is the hips' turn. You must use your obliques and your lower abs like crazy to make this happen. So push your heels into the ground, make your weight even on all your feetsies, and twist yourself forward and forward and forward. So this is a very muscular move. It looks beautiful. It gets easier as you go, but it uses quite a bit of muscle, and it's lower abs and lower back. Legs aren't doing much, just knees pointed ahead. They don't do much. They're just hanging out. All right, now take it the other way. So that was back to front, right? Same thing, horizontal, figure 8. Start in the front and go around to the back. So here I am around this way, here, to the back, all right? So take your right hip again, start it in front of your toes, go around, circle it around. Now the right hip is in the back. Take the left hip forward, around to the back. Forward and around to the back, forward and around to the back. This one is a little easier. It's more natural. A lot of times we do this kind of a sway, right, in Latin dancing, in folk dancing, and just when we just dance, our hips just kind of do this, right? So it's a more natural way to move. So a lot of people like this one the best because it's a lot easier. But again, it's an isolated movement. The shoulders and ribs are trying their best to stay straight ahead. Use your obliques and pull those hips back and back and back. Now, just to make sure we have not forgotten or confused, take your right hip back and pause. Now, reverse your direction and see. When I have beginning students, what happens is we're doing this and then they're doing the other one and they don't know. You can't tell, right? So see if you can figure out that you're going forward. Hopefully we're going forward. Now take the right hip to the front, halt, take it around, and now go reverse. So a good way to practice these two moves together is to do them just like that. Just do 4 or 5, and then we pause, and then we reverse. And we come forward, and then we pause, and then we reverse, and we go back. All right, so that's your horizontal figure 8s, forward and backward. Now let's look at the vertical figure 8s, over and under. So they will be like so, on the wall, like this. If I've got a pen and I'm drawing on the wall in front of me, you can see the 8, there's a circle there and a circle there, right? And which way is my hand going? Up and over, up and over. So that's the first one we're gonna do. Up, over, right? So if this is my center, the first thing my hip is gonna do is gonna go up, around, and over. And then up, around, and over. You get to use your foot to help. Put a bend in your knee. Push up with the ball of your foot. Lift your right hip up. Now over, down, and under. Left hip up, over, down, and under. Up, over, down, and under. Up, over, down, and under. All right? Up and over. So let's try that. Up and over. Up and over. Same thing now. Hold yourself still. I know we wanna get in there, right? And start moving our bodies, but keep your arms stationary, keep your ribs and shoulders as stationary as you can. Doesn't have to be absolutely still, but we want to be mostly still, right? Just kind of mostly. We don't want to be frozen, but we do want to be isolated. And this move is, of all the 4 8s, this is the most difficult. So don't beat yourself up if this is hard right now. It will get easier, I promise. But this is the trickiest one. The body is really good at swaying backwards and lifting up with these figure 8s. So this is not. This is over and down. And to get your hips to go down is tricky. Right?
It's kind of like the opposite of walking in a way, because walking is, so like what?
It is. But now we get a relief. So take the right hip, take it over and down and pause. So now picture your 8 is gonna, so here I am, under and up. Take that hip down, out, under and up. You're drawing an 8. The first motion is under. So under, up, and in. That one should feel good. Under, up, and in. Also, your hands are very helpful. If you put them on your hips, they will guide. Just think about how you want that 8 to look. Hold your hips, and you draw the 8 with your hands. And your hips will help. They'll be helped a lot. They'll follow more if you put your hands there. When you're first learning, you use your hands. And then when you figure it out, then you don't have to use your hands anymore. The big trick on this one, plie. Bend those knees because you really need to get down and gushy. I am lifting my heel. I'm pushing up with the ball of the foot. I'm contracting my abdominal obliques right here as I come in. I'm pushing out, up, in with a contraction, in with a contraction. Oh, this feels really good. Really good for digesting your food, if you've had food recently. All right, we're gonna pause on the right side. So up and in, pause. Now, see if you can remember the one we just did. Keep your hands there, over and down, over and down, over and down. So this is a figure 8 vertical on the down. And then reverse, up, figure 8 vertical on the up. Throw those 2 horizontals, 2 verticals. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more. All right? So we have a whole other body part. We've got chest and ribs, right?
Woohoo!
Yes, we do. All right, so the 8 that we were just doing, which is vertical on the up. So it's this shape here. You tilt down and up, that one, right? That's what your hips were just doing, okay? Right? You can see that, you can feel it. Your ribs are gonna do the same thing. They won't look identical because they're a different body part, but in your mind, right, they're the same thing. All right, so remember the first move for the hip is down, out. So the rib, take your right hip, your right rib, and drop it down. And how do you do that? You contract your little intercostal muscles on your upper abs right beside your diaphragm, right underneath your rib cage. You contract right there, right? So see, that's different than contracting the hip up. That's the lower obliques. You've got little diagonal ones up here too. You can call them upper obliques, but drop the ribs on one side. Now go out and go up. Now when you go up, don't make the shoulder do it. Do it with the ribs. A lot of times it's a shoulder move, just because we don't know how to move our ribs. But we're gonna figure it out. Down they go, out, lift the same rib size. Now you've completed that circle. And see the left one? It's ready to go. So just slide over there and go out and up. Now slide, out, up, slide, out, up, slide, out, up, slide, out, up, slide, out, up. And you have, ta-da, a figure 8. It's just hard to breathe and talk at the same time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's all good. All right, then we smooth it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And believe me, your upper abs, oh, they are working so hard. It's beautiful. It's really deep muscle work. Best crunch you would ever do, the best sit-up you would ever do. This is crazy good for your abs. All right, notice nothing's going on with the hips. Well, I mean, I'm trying. There might be a little movement.
They are connected, so
yes.
You know, it's bound to be some kind
There's
of
something. But you have options. So right now we are disconnected. So start on your right. There we go. There we go. Good. Now, release your hips and let them follow along. And you end up having a figure 8. This is another figure 8 for the whole body, from top to bottom. So you can see the figure 8 happening on the ribs, and then look, it happens on the hips, and then the ribs, and then the hips. So both are doing the same figure 8. One is just following the other because your body naturally balances itself. So rib and hip, rib and hip, rib and hip. Now take the rib out of it, hold it still, and just do the hip. Good. Excellent. All right, put your rib back in. There we go. Ooh, that feels so good. All right, take your hip out of it. Now just lock them down, unlock your knees, squeeze, and just the rib cage. So you have a lot of really cool variations that you can do with that vertical figure 8 on the up with your ribs and your hips. Once you get them both kind of comfortable, it's a very beautiful, snaky, slinky, wonderful way to move. It's super good.
And works you out too. I'm getting
I know.
almost at the point of sweaty. Like,
I might sweat.
woo!
I might sweat. Another minute, I might sweat.
Right? I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Almost about to be sweaty.
So now, the vertical 8 that we did with our hips, up and over, up and over. You can do that same thing with your rib cage, all right? So it's just the opposite. Take your chest up, out and down, up, out and down, up, out and down, up, out, and down. Try to lock down your hips, pull your abs in, tuck your tailbone under, bend those knees, tighten it up, and just see if you can lock down your hips and try this rib cage figure 8, up, over, up, over, up, over, up, over. Nice. Now this one is used a lot, not as isolated as I'm doing it, but more like so, as a side body wave, right? You widen your base and you're doing whatever you're doing, and then you're leaning and your head goes or not, and your ribs and your arms, and you do sort of a side body wave 8 thing, right? So
Yeah.
this one we don't do so isolated, but let's just give it another try. Right in here, up, over, up, over, up, over. Watch your shoulder. I just felt mine go, we're trying to help, right? Right? Stay down, stay down. Don't lift your shoulder, keep it down. It's from underneath, it's from the rib cage. And now expand it into a body wave to the side or a lean to the side. And lock down your hips. Good, good, yay, nice, nice, nice. So there's all kinds of things that can happen there. That one takes a lot of muscle as well. All right, horizontal. We've got the one that goes forward, right, from back to front, and we have the one that goes back from front to back. So take your ribs.
We have a comment, so I'm gonna go check it
Oh,
out.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so now take the ribs behind you.
It's Brenda, just saying hi.
Brenda's here, yay, hi.
She can't stay, but she's saying hi.
But she's saying hi. I love it when you check in. Here we are, from back to front, back to front, back to front, back to front. There we go, good. This one's tricky as well because it's done with the rib cage, so it's hard. The hips, it's so much easier doing it with the hips, but yeah. Here we go. Around and around and around and around. Really pretty. Now this one a lot of times we use with an undulation. We come around and undulate and around and undulate. So there's all kinds of mixed things you can do with this. We don't so often just do the forward one, but you'll see it very often with the rib cage circle, a forward kind of an angled, and then taking it into the side. It'll be used sort of in conjunction, right? So let's just do a little trail and see. So start with a rib cage circle, and then either direction, and then the side that's coming forward, go ahead and angle it, and turn it into a forward figure 8. Good. Now pick a side, wave yourself down if you've learned the body wave. If not, just pretend that you know it, it's all good. Bring it down, and then go into a full body figure 8. Nice. Just to give you an idea of how the 8's play nicely together. Right? They look really good together. All right, I think there's one left, right? From front to back, front to back?
Yeah.
All right, so this one is not used very much. We use it as a drill and a conditioning exercise because it coordinates your rib cage, but it's not an official step, okay? But let's just try. So forward, side and around, forward, side and around, forward, side and around. So horizontal, one rib cage, going forward, circling around to the back in a horizontal line. Woohoo! And you can feel, oh gosh, diaphragm.
Seriously.
Diaphragm.
All of this stuff.
Upper abs, diaphragm, like crazy. Oh my goodness. Here we go. And around. Very pretty move. But it's tricky, it's difficult. It can actually honestly look a little bit awkward, right? So I use it as a practice, as a drill. Don't necessarily use it in particular as a step like I do the other ones. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So you should be feeling complete core right now, all the way, the whole back.
A little bit of sweat beads
Yes.
happening.
So just to help you remember, 4 directions of figure 8s with 2 body parts. We have 2 horizontals, forward and back. We have 2 verticals, over and under, or up and down. You do them the same on 2 parts, so it makes it easier to remember, right? So when you're practicing and drilling, go through all 4 and then do both parts, right? And then connect the 2 to get one big full body figure 8, right? And this move, often we call this the snake, right? It's a beautiful move. Beautiful, beautiful move. All right, let's see. All right, let's do a couple of alteration moves with the hip. We're going to do what are we going to do? Oh yeah, the undulating 8. I've broken this down before, but it's okay to have it in a couple of classes because it's such a beautiful move. It's going to be a tilted figure 8 going forward on the hip. So here we are going forward. Now on your forward, instead of a flat foot, as your hip comes around to the back, press with the ball of your foot, lift the heel and turn your hip the same way. But if you see when it's up in the air, it changes the angle. And then it comes, as you come down, your knees tend to meet, all right? And then up, around, and meet. Up, around, and knees together. Up, around, and knees together. Up, and up. So this is a combination. If you look at it, if you really break it down, if you took a little piece of the up from the side figure 8 and the forward, and you put them together, half and half, this would be the result, right? So it's partly up and it's partly forward. It's a combination. And I just think it's beautiful.
Super beautiful.
So there we are, up, over, and actually it's a little easier. Don't you think it's easier with the ball of the foot
Yeah.
than trying to keep your foot flat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. So just go for it. Up and around, up and around. Now remember, isolating everything else, but then we're going to decide that we're not going to isolate everything else, right? We're going to let the body move in the figure 8 on the top as well, right? And this is a personal thing, right? Your body is going to move a little different than anybody else's, which makes it look super cool. Good. Now, what's the undulating one? Is that it? Yeah, that's it, right?
Right, I think so,
Undulation in
yeah.
front. All right, so I didn't teach the body undulations this time, but I'm going to show you what they are, but well, I'll break them down in a different class. But it's kind of how it sounds. It's a body wave, up to down. Contract 3 parts of your stomach. Ribs go forward or up, contract diaphragm, navel, lower abs. Press forward, contract upper, middle, lower. Big, big, big stomach contraction, one at a time, and you get a beautiful body wave or undulation. So what's going to happen, and this is an individual thing as well, because as your undulation gets better, this evolves, right? At first, don't let anybody see it. When I was first learning, it was a little bit like a fit, right? Some rare disease that I had. Could not control anything on my body, and eventually you start to figure it out. So get your hip going up and over. Now, right at that up and over moment, lift your ribs and undulate down to meet your hip. So your hip is coming up and over, coming up this way. Your ribs and the body is waving down this way. They meet, right? So undulate and up and over, and you end up right there at the base of your hip. Up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. And really, honestly, it depends on my mood, what food I've had, what costume I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I do it different every time. Some days it looks better, some days not. All right, so up and over with an undulating stomach. It's very, very cool. All right, take the undulation out. Take your hip up and over. Meet the knees. As your knees meet, your hip will come down. Now, do the other end, do the other side, reverse it. Go up, over, and back the way you came. Up, over, and back. Up, over, and back. Up, over, and back. So you can do this, it's more of a diagonal, because remember we've got a vertical up, and then we have a horizontal forward. We're putting them half and half, and we end up with a diagonal, all right? But if you take vertical up and out, and vertical or horizontal to the back, and you put them together, you end up with a diagonal. So take the hip up with the ball of your foot, rotate it back and put it down. Up, rotate it back and put it down. So you can see the belt here. When we do these horizontally, here's forward, here's back, there's not any tilt. My foot is flat. But these two use the ball of the foot, and you can see the angle of the hip. Up, over, forward, up, over, forward. Now, up, around, and back. Up, around, and back. Up, around, and back. I think this one feels especially good because you don't have to move your feet very much. You just push up, spin it around, and put it down. Right? Up, around to the back, and put it down. Up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around. And it's another beautiful move. Again, isolating as best you can. All right, so it's another diagonal 8, I guess we'll call it diagonal 8.
Diagonal 8.
Yeah,
so makes sense.
Yeah, so it gives us direction. So we had diagonal forward, and now we have diagonal back. Now, get ready.
And there's more.
And there's more. Put them together.
Ooh.
Half of a diagonal forward, half of a diagonal back.
Okay.
So here's it. Let's review. Forward, diagonal. Now go back, diagonal. This looks so good. All right, now just take your favorite hip. This is going to be my right hip. I'm going to come forward, make your knees together. Now, don't go anywhere. Do it reverse now. Same side. Up and back. Up and front. Up and back. Up and front. Up and back. Up and front. Up and back. Is that not cool?
That's very cool.
It's very cool. All right, let's go to the left side. So diagonal up, over, and forward, knees together. Up, over, and back. Over, forward, over, back. Remember, it's diagonal. There's an up, there's a bend of your knee, which gives it a down. There's an up, and there's a landing, which gives it a down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, now do them alternating.
All right.
Yes, all right. So let's start on the right and do 2. And then, so 1, 2. When we come back, we're not going to stop. We're going to switch to the other side. So there's going to be this little swishy thing. It's going to go like this, right? It's going to come around the back. It's going to look really cool.
All right.
So we go up, forward, up, back, up, forward. Now around to the left side, up, forward, back, forward, around, and forward, back, around. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, this is so pretty. And 2, 3 and 4. One more. 1 and 2. Can you do singles? Yes. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. If you were drawing this, it would be, right? It would be this shape.
It's like this way.
Yeah, it would be, yeah, up, in like this. So up, around, in, up, around, and just around, and then up, around, in, around the back, and in, and in, and in, and in. So all that cool stuff comes from one little figure 8.
Figure 8.
Yeah.
Magic.
Who knew?
It's magical.
Yes. Okay. Now my stomach is so tired.
All of this is so. That one I was really.
Yeah. That was working.
These two.
you are doing it and working really deeply, you're getting an amazing workout right now.
Yay.
So, all right, let's move up to a body part, shoulder. Okay, so
Ooh.
I'm gonna stand like so. Roll back, just the one. Roll forward. Now, notice my hand and arm are not doing the circle, all right? Set them on something.
Not paddling?
Yeah.
You don't want that look? You don't
Not
want
so
that
much. So either stand by a dresser, a counter, the back of a chair, a person. Just put your hand on something to give it something to touch. And keep some slack in your elbow, because when you lift, your arm is going to straighten a little bit more. You are not, so here's the knot. We're not taking our arm with us. We are leaving our arm right where it is. And then back, and it's not perfect, we're not robots, but you can see the hand is more or less hanging out. What you don't want to see is a circling hand, right? So here we are. All right, so now one forward, one back, one forward, one back, one forward, one back. All right, now, horizontal 8. So your 8 will be laying this way. So if this is my shoulder, it's going to draw a forward circle and then the back circle behind it. So the 8 will not be the way you write it. It'll be laying down, right? Horizontal. Exactly.
Infinity symbol.
Infinity symbol.
All
So
right.
take it, so start up. You can start anywhere you want, but I'm going to start, actually I'm going to start down. I'm going to start down, around the back, up and over, down, and the front. Circle back, front, back, front, back, front. So you're doing a circle kind of behind you, right back here, and then you're doing another circle more in front of yourself, right? Because you've got two circles that you're connecting. So back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. Now my arm's going to fall off, so let's turn around.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe
Really good
actually-
for the deltoids.
Seriously.
All right, isolate as best you can. Put your hand on something or imaginary. When you're practicing it, you'll see the difference. When you touch something and start rolling your shoulder forward, forward, forward. This kind of gets it awake. Now back, back, back. All right, you ready? I'm not really ready. But my left side sucks, I'll tell you that right now. But that's okay. Back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. How's it feel?
It feels good, actually.
Yeah?
It's a little
Let me
bit, I feel a little bit uncoordinated.
Oh, yours
It
looks
feels-
awesome.
It feels really nice in my muscles. to
Yeah, it
move
feels
that.
like I'm doing a good thing, but I'm looking going, ugh, ugh, ugh. My right one's getting
It's
better.
tricky.
The
It's
left
tricky.
one's kind of, okay, maybe one day. But I want to show you because it's so, there we go. I keep wanting to, when you don't quite have it, you're going to find yourself using more body parts than
Yeah.
you need to. And I'm definitely a right body side, so my left side is trying to bring in all kinds of friends to help do this move, so it's difficult to isolate. Oh. So we just drill it, right? But I wanted to show you because it's such a beautiful move. Now, while we're on the side of the body, we're going to do a single 8 on one hip, which is absolutely gorgeous. Same position. It's a horizontal infinity sign. Take your hip. You're going to start in the back. All right, I'm just going to put my hands here out of the way. Back, up, and over. There's one circle. Now drop it down and go forward, up, and back. So you've got one circle over, one circle under, just like you were drawing an 8. So up and over in the back, under and up in the front. 1, 2. And we're back to using our stomach muscles. Lots of stomach muscle. Ugh. The only way to get your hip here to go up and in, you cannot do it with your leg. It doesn't go that way. You can push and push and push. The only way is to completely contract your lower abs right there and get a big bend, a big fold in your abdominals. So you have to do an abdominal contraction whether you like it or not. and it's going to be awesome for your abs. So there we go. Yep, beautiful. All right, turn around. Right side.
That side I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Here we are. All right, so back, up, over, and then down, forward, up, and in. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Oh, come on, stomach. Get it right, get it right. There we go. Sometimes you have to sort of give it a little help. But the one hip 8 is beautiful. And you can also do it with the foot. So if you make the 8 on the floor, a very skinny 8 like so, draw it with your toe and then draw it with your hip. It's so pretty. Really beautiful. So you can try that. See how it feels on the left side. So start drawing. Get your balance. Now add your hip. Add your stomach. Oh goodness. Ha, ha. This is ab night, apparently.
Yes.
Yep.
Ninja ab night. Stealthy,
Yep.
secret ab night.
There we go.
My favorite kind.
Oh, so pretty.
Woo,
So
that's
if
great.
you're feeling this right here, you're doing it right. The lower back starts to really go, excuse me, excuse me, I'm working really hard right now. So that means you're doing a great job. If you got something going on back here, yes. If not, keep contracting. It'll happen. It will happen sooner or later. All right, so shoulder 8s. Goofy on one side, but it'll get better.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
one more.
One more.
One more.
And there's more. You didn't think there was going to be more, but there's more.
All right, we're going to do wrist and hand.
Ooh.
Okay, starting with the wrist. So depending on how your arms like to move, they usually like to move together when you're learning something. So I don't recommend that you do one and then the other. I just recommend you do them together. So same thing, infinity symbol, out, up, over, out, up, in, outside, inside. So if this is my wrist, this is the shape I'm making, right? So I'm dropping down, out, up, down, in, up. And you can see the hand is going to counterbalance, right? So it makes the hand look really pretty. Don't try to hold your hand still. Let your hand float along, right?
What happens to you? Same with the elbow? Does it kind of just
You're trying,
flex and...
the elbow just flexes and straightens to help you move,
Okay.
but it doesn't do the 8.
All right.
So if you're doing the whole arm thing, that's not it yet, right? So turn your wrist out. Now come up and over and in, up and over and out.
Ooh, that's cool, if I can get
In.
it right.
Out. You have to think about it a little bit, and what actually really helps is to not look at your hands for this one, but to look at them on a camera or in a mirror.
Mm.
It makes a big difference, because for some reason, it helps
Alright.
you do it. So
Okay.
don't look at them, because it's a different perspective than looking in a mirror. And it totally messes with your brain. So I'm looking at myself when I look here, I'm just, oh dear. So look at yourself in a mirror or a window or something. Figure 8, figure 8. Woo! Talk about coordination in your arms and hands, right? Isn't that pretty?
That's really cool.
Now, just keep that going. So it's just kind of like a sway. So let the hands be responding, not leading. So remember, when we do something, our fingers tend to lead, right? And we're not. We're letting them float. Our wrist. So it's wrist, wrist, wrist. That's the part that's working. And it's so pretty. Try opening the arms little by little. Good. Nice. Isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
And it's a beautiful movement. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. Mine is certainly not. fingers, and it's getting there. So it's not a circle, it's not a wrist circle, it's not a hand circle, it's really a figure 8. All right, so now switch the lead from the wrist to the hand. All right, so when we do hand circles, we come all the way around with our hands, right? All the way around, or we go the other way around, all right? But a figure 8, just imagine if you were drawing a figure 8 with your hand. All right, so you would be flipping over and drawing one circle here, and then you would turn your palm up and you would do the other circle over here, right? So an inside and an outside. Again, it's an infinity symbol, so it is horizontal. There's one circle there and one circle there. 1 and 2, 3. Do you feel the difference? How this is not the wrist, or were you doing this one when you were tying the gym? Yeah. Because the wrist is it's a very weak leader. We don't lead with our wrist, we lead with our fingers. So very often when I teach wrist circles and things, people keep doing the hand, right? So you'll get the idea. One circle in, one circle out. You can very much feel the leader is the fingertip. The fingertip is drawing the 8. In and out. Now open. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's just beautiful. Because you really get a beautiful, nice, big movement. Lead with your fingers. Go all the way around and all the way around and all the way around. And bring it back in. Figure 8. Now let's see if we can release the fingers and do the wrist. It's different, see? Different. When you do them right after each other, you go, oh, oh, I get it now. It's different because this comes up and over and then out and over. Up, in, over, out, in, over. And do you see the hands don't do this. The hands don't make the 8. The hands just kind of stay there, right? You feel the difference, hopefully. Look forward, not at yourself, but a reflection of yourself. All right, now switch to the hand. Hand, very different move. A lot easier with the hand, right?
Yeah.
A lot easier with the hand, yes. But so, so, so pretty. So some fun things tonight, right? Yeah, we got some cool things. I love this move. I love the shoulder. I love the one hip. I love the forward and around. I love all those because they're a really nice, different twist on a figure 8. It just makes it really fun. Yeah. So we have a giant list now of figure 8 variations.
Wow.
It's very, very large.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and it's all different degrees of difficulty. So you'll jump on some of it and others will be, oh, not tonight. Or, okay, maybe next time, right? Everybody's different at where they are. And even people that have been dancing for a long time, when I started learning this wrist thing, I'm, oh dear, oh. How is that going to happen? Right? Yeah, it's tricky. In the shoulder, it's very tricky. But we'll get it. Just keep working at it. Okay, I think we're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it through what I wanted to make through. Our timing looks really good. And I appreciate you so much being here. Thank you for hanging in there and dancing with me. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
All these ab work, deltoids, and all of them.
We did a lot.
A whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
It was excellent.
So we'll see you again in a few days on Saturday. And I just posted, if you're on my Facebook page, I just posted my beginning series for belly dance, semi-private with Zoom, is going to start next week on a Thursday. So there'll be 3 of those. So you can check the Facebook page. I guess I'll put it on Instagram too.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's Thursdays from 4?
It's going to be 4:15 to 5:30.
There we go.
Yeah, on
Cool.
Zoom. So you register with Eventbrite, and then I will send you the Zoom link, right? And it's a nice, manageable class. and it's very personalized. So
Yeah.
you can really get some good, and it's not expensive. It's
No.
$30 for all three, or $12 for one. So not expensive.
Fantastic price.
Okay, I think are we good?
Yeah, so just a few things to remember. Share and like and comment on this video, but then also there's a new Facebook event for these classes, for the Wednesday, Saturday classes, so make sure you share that and invite your people.
Yes.
And then all these videos are going to be up on YouTube, on Meleah's channel, which is Meleah Nelson, so just look for that, and it has all the descriptions in it for all the moves, so you can find a specific move you want to with that. Yeah. And that's it, right?
All right.
Oh, and then I have one thing to say.
Okay.
These are free classes, but if you want to contribute something, Meleah has Venmo. You can just Venmo or whatever you would like to.
Venmo, PayPal, if you can. If you can, that's great. If you can't, enjoy them for free. And this is my contribution while we're going through all this together.
Right. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Thank goodness for these classes. Is that all I can say?
Oh, this is saving me. This is wonderful. I'm so glad you're here and participating and joining us. All right. I guess I will say goodnight for now, and I will see you very soon.
I'm gonna go this way and shut down everything from this way.
We shut down Instagram first.
Yes, and let me see if there's anything on Instagram from anybody. No questions. We have some people, but we're going to say bye first.
All right. Good night.
And then
and
let's
good
see.
night, Facebook. We have any other issues?
No, everything looks good.
See you later.